Oh, what's up, dude? Check this thing out. I took one of those little bike ATV jacks that goes sideways under the bike, cut it in half, and made this. So there'll be a video on that coming real soon, then some whatever public version, probably a handful of days later. Yeah, but I just want to make a little update, tell you guys what's been going on, because I feel like I've been a little quiet since the last video I put up, but I have been busy. I think I told y'all before that I was possibly looking at working at one job, and I mean, maybe that'll come to be at some point, but as for right now, it looks like no. There just wasn't enough money in it, I don't think. So, who knows? We might revisit that at some point. I still would love to just work with that company in general too, like we did with other projects. So, yeah, but anyway, once I kind of figured out the news of that, I kind of just went gung-ho with trying to figure out what I want to do with another project, and it's definitely going to be the FZ07, and it's definitely going to become a dual sport, quote-unquote. Made some inquiries and tried to talk to some different people. It's really funny how sometimes it just feels like certain projects are like, you know, you're trying to get things going, you can't even get people to respond back to you on stuff. Some of it really simple projects, it shouldn't even be a big deal. And then I hit up a couple different people about parts for this thing and got really fast positive responses. So sometimes it just feels like things are telling you like, okay, this is what you need to be working on then, because this is just things, sometimes things fall together and sometimes you're just dragging to get anybody to work with you and do anything. So quick things that's gonna happen to this. Those rims are gonna actually have Excel rims on there. There's a company that makes, what they make is a custom hub. You know, they machine it out, you know, billet hub that's set up to take Excel 17-inch rims, and they even put a big 5.5 rear rim on it, so it'll take a 180 tire. And so those are going on there. Of course, actually, I'm having them sending them to me unbuilt because the rim parts are going down. The outside hoops are going to go down to my guy, what's his name, Super Dave, who did my powder coating on this thing, and he's going to make them blue. Yeah, I could have gone crazy yellow, but I want to change it up. I want to keep the gray and black, but we're going to have some blue integrated onto the bike now. I think that would be the look to go for, because the gray, flat black and blue is what this Tannery 700 is going to look like. So I thought that'd be kind of neat, and we'll do some other blue parts on it. Another really cool part is going to be coming for it. There's a stunt cage company makes that actually kind of wraps down up under the bike, and then they have a big skid plate that bolts onto it, which is going to be necessary because you know, there's not a cheap or easy way to extend the suspension. I mean, we could do the front. The front's actually the easier one. You just get a whole front end off like a big dual sport, and you modify it to fit. The back swing arm is where it's tricky, particularly because of the way the shocks mount. Honestly, if you're going to go to that point, I feel like you start kind of losing the point. It's going to be more gnarly to keep it like it is, but just put dirt parts on it. Anyway, other things we're working on. Hit up Continental about, they got these big 180 knobbies for it, so we'll do that. Baja Designs is going to send me this thing called an LP9. You look this thing up, it's a crazy bright headlight. It's just going to replace this whole unit. I might relocate the dash up forward. We'll see when I get there. I'm going to put the bar, I'm going to do something. I'm probably going to go to a 1/8 bar. It's always been tricky because the dash bolts, like everything's dusty from sawing in here. The dash bolts right on here, which is why I went with a 7/8 last time. But if I'm gonna relocate, then I can do a 1 1/8, and I might just do a riser, and then maybe even like CR high bars like this thing has, because I need the bars to be, you know, almost this much higher. The thing is, you gotta realize, you gotta try to stand up in the seat and get your hands where they can touch them. As far as the back end of the bike is gonna go, I want to try to get rid of all these back plastics, these seats, and get a flat seat in here. There actually is a kit out there. It's called like the Super 7 or something kit. I don't need the full kit, but I want the seat. There's a little seat fairing and rack piece that I want from that kit. So I've been trying to get a hold of that person who sells that. I've shot them a few emails. I need to just call them, and you know, it's one of those things like maybe they won't be interested in working with me at all. But I think, you know, you can't tell them this when you're talking to them, but it may be one of those situations where if they're, you know, entirely uninterested, I may, sorry, there's weird grease on the bike. I may just end up buying it outright anyway, because it really is a cool bit of kit. It will transform the back of it in a way it's honestly functional. Because here's the thing, I don't want this just to be a random show bike thing. I want to actually off-road this thing. Oh yeah, also that same company that makes that stunt cage, I haven't hit them up about this yet, but they also make a rear sub cage kit. It does a big loop tail around the back and puts these big crash pegs. I don't really care about those. In fact, if I get that kit, I might even shave those down a little bit. You don't want them digging into the dirt. But what I wouldn't consider then is maybe seeing if they would send that to me and send it to me raw, like no powder coating on it, and then possibly like maybe go and get Fire Guy or one of my other buddies that can weld, and we could add on some tabs or something, or move that big, it's got like a big triangle, you know, like maybe move it back, something where I want it further back here, and then modify it to take roto packs. That's what I'm thinking in my head right now. So yeah, it's totally gonna look gnarly as shit when it's all done. It's gonna be like, I'm going for legit capabilities here. I want to actually be able to like off-road this thing and do some wild stuff with it. I've already been talking to a few boys about maybe doing like a trip, looking, you know, a couple day trip or something. Nothing super crazy, because it might kill me if I left for like, you know, half a year doing a round the world trip, which I don't know how crazy I can really go with the FZ07 anyway. I honestly think it's gonna actually work really good. Let me get back to that though. I was gonna say, the trip we're thinking about, something where maybe like we go to, there's a couple trails around here. There's some like Texas something trail, and then up north of us, there's part of the Trans-American Trail, the TA trail. So we could probably get on parts of that. There's no way we're gonna run that whole thing, but I really do want to like put some camping gear. I want to gear this thing up and do like an adventure, like an ADV ride with it. It'd be totally nuts, and probably will piss some people off who are like super FZ07 fans and think I'm just destroying it. Here's the thing. My wife was saying this too. She's like, are you just ruining your street bike? Like, not really. It's just the thing that's gonna make it less practical on the street. Like, all the other stuff is kind of whatever. Like, you still ride it that way. You know, taller bars don't really make a huge difference in the riding, like when you're just sitting and cruising. And like I said, all the other mods they don't matter on the street. You know, it's the tires. The tires I want to get on this thing, they're like 60-70% off-road or something like that. So the thinking is to do like the trip like that, run those tires, and then when it's done, probably go to like still some kind of dual sport tire. There's a number of 180-degree dual sport tires. There's only a few big knobbies though. There's a lot of them that are like 60-70% street, you know, and then off-road. And so probably switching to something like that so that it can still be very rideable. I mean, honestly, you could just stick street rubber back on it, and then it's, you know, it's what everyone always likes to say. So many people would always tell me, Supermoto the FZ07. I'm like, what does that mean? And maybe that's what that means. I don't know. But having those rims on there and that skid plate, that's some real shit right there. And that light from Baja is 11,000 lumens when it's in high beam. Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of functional, like real shit I want to do to it. Like, I don't want to make a show bike. I looked into it in between FZ07s and then that other one, the XSR700. If you look up like customs versions of those bikes, there's plenty of people that have like thrown knobbies on them and put like a flatter seat, try to make them kind of like a tracker or something like that or whatever. But the thing I noticed about pretty much all those builds is that they always are just builds. Like, they're always prestigious, incredibly clean. They go to like shows, and that seems to be all they do, you know. And I'm like, no, this thing, I want to ride the shit out of this thing. I want it to actually work. So yeah, it'd be definitely pretty cool. I mean, think about like this. I've been sitting around thinking about shock back here, okay, and this fender. I'm thinking taking all this off, putting one of those like Fox like shock guards over it, and then actually off of this back plate, you know, like a big like Rubbermaid, not a big one, but like a little Rubbermaid tote or something, you know, that heavy plastic, and cutting it up to make a flap. You know, the way it is. I somehow stopped the video. Now I'm not redoing all that. I'm gonna have to now take this inside and render it on the computer. Oh my god, that's all right. It won't take long. But yeah, no, I want to put like an actual mud flappy thingy like that one has. Just stuff like that. I'm really trying to think about like, okay, what do I do about this? What do I do about that? Yeah. But yeah, I want roto packs, probably one with water, one with fuel, big bags hanging off here. Like, none of these plastics on the back here anymore. Should be wild. So I'm kind of pumped about that. Like I said, guys, I know before I'd kind of taken a bit of a break there when I was trying to figure out what I was going to do with that, and just trying to do family stuff, trying to heal up from that little surgery I had. I just kind of a little sidetracked there for a minute, and it feels like I haven't been super active, and I haven't been. But you know, I don't. One, it's not good for my bank account. I need to stay busy. I need to work. You know, you can only take so much vacation. You know, take a week or two, not do much, and then you're like, oh, you know, I don't have one of those jobs where I can do that. So yeah, and then I don't know. I just like, I don't know. I was just kind of sitting there for a minute, like nothing really going on, and I didn't really know what to do. And now that I got this project, like things are working out for that. I feel like, you know, like, yeah, hell yeah, let's get this going. So I'm really excited about it. I think people will dig it. I've also been inquiring to different companies about other things that, you know, I probably have no business asking for. I mean, I do, but I don't think people will. I don't know. It's always worth asking. It's worth people can say no. So that's the thing with this bike. I should have been working up other projects while this one was coming to an end, but I think I just got real hung up with trying to get this house, which was an insane disaster of insanity. Then actually moving, then having a kid, and then I've just been trying to like settle. And you know, I let this thing basically get done and didn't have anything else lined up, and that wasn't smart. You know, I think you gotta do it with Dan, where you got like way too many things going on at once. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Anyway, y'all, thanks for being the Patreon. Thanks for putting up with me, and sorry that things have been a little slower, but it should start picking up with that project. And yeah, I'd like to do more riding videos. They just, you know, they don't get views. A lot of them get beat down by YouTube, and a lot of them, even when they don't, people just don't watch them. So, you know, but if you guys want to see stuff like that, let me know, because at the end of the day, you guys are the ones I care about the most. I mean, you know, y'all are the ones paying the bills. If you want me to go ride these things around and make videos, let me know. I certainly enjoy it. All right, I'll take care.